You're being pretty sly right now, Laurel. Huh? I hear that you went and divorced Jim, right? If that's the case, then you need to hurry up and get out of his house. Who is this again? Even if you and I perhaps talked a little bit before, this is your first time ever texting with me, so you should at least tell me who you are before starting the conversation. Considering you and Jim had your divorce, an ex-wife like you has no right knowing who I am. Well, if I have no right knowing your name, then you have no right coming to me like this and saying all of these things to me. Now, if you're not going to tell me who you are, then I'm going to have no choice but to block you, and then we won't ever have to talk to one another again. I guess I have no other choice. My name is Ivy, and I happen to be Jim's girlfriend. Huh? His girlfriend? Does that mean, in other words, Jim has been cheating on me with someone else this whole entire time? What? Oh, how mean of you. Jim and the relationship he and I have had with one another is too beautiful to be labeled as such a shallow and impure thing like cheating. Really? Is that right? However, what you just told me is known to everybody else in the world as cheating, considering he had still been married to me until very recently. But I'm telling you, he was not cheating on you with me, so stop trying to make it seem like all this has ever been is an affair. Well, to be frank, I really don't care what you call it. Huh? You really don't care? Since I have nothing to do with either one of you and never really did, how you go about calling the relationship you both had with one another while he was married to me doesn't matter. I don't care what you call it. Really, all I've noticed so far by this conversation is that it's a complete and total waste of my time right now, and that you are just annoying me is all. What the hell was that? If you don't give a crap about this conversation or about Jim and I, then get the hell out of his house. Starting today, this place is Jim's and mine to live and love one another in. This place? Where exactly is this place you're speaking of? I'm right in front of the house that you're supposed to be living in right now, but instead have been squatting inside of like a sly little rat. What? You really are. I just took a look out front and I saw a trespassing girl with a bag in her hand standing right in front of our door. Who the hell are you calling a trespassing girl? If you're going to start calling me that, then that means you've gone and broken and entered into my house and should be kicked out. But this is my own house I'm sitting in. No, it's not. That house is for Jim and I. That is supposed to be the house that Jim and I can start making love to one another in while we start our very own family. So hurry the hell up and get out. All of your crap inside that house is worthless to us, so make sure you take it all with you. There'd better not be a single piece of trash in there when I move in. Now, you work on getting out of that house, okay? All right then. Understood. But currently, Jim is not here. What? Why isn't he home today? We only just got divorced from one another yesterday, but he had already had things planned out for today, so he left. And I believe when it comes to him moving into his new place and all of that, he's going to be doing that this weekend. What the hell? So that's what's going on here? Well, if he's not home today, then I don't really have to bother with you now. I'll be going back to my place this time. However, I'll only allow you to be in my house until this weekend, and then after that, you need to be out of there before I'm back and ready to move in all of my things. Jim, do you have a moment to talk?
Oh, it's you, Laurel. I thought we spoke about how we wouldn't really be talking to one another anymore, unless there was an emergency or something. Did something happen to the house or my things since I left?
There was a woman at the house today claiming to be your girlfriend, Jim.
Huh? What do you mean by that? I get that you and I just had a divorce and everything, but that doesn't mean I've already made myself a girlfriend.
I get that, okay? I don't think someone as stupid and stubborn as you could ever be able to keep a girlfriend like her a secret from me while we were married, nor make her your girlfriend that quickly after leaving me. So relax.
Ah, right. As long as you understand that I didn't know her, we're good. Thanks. Do you mind telling me everything you know about that woman, in case I know her from somewhere?
Well, she had semi-long hair, and her name is Ivy. At least, that's what she called herself.
Ivy?
Do you know who she is, then?
As long as it isn't someone else with the same name as the girl I remember. That Ivy is a classmate I had from elementary school all the way until the end of high school. Most of the time, I really only knew her to be this basic girl, but in high school I found out that she was actually the daughter of this really wealthy CEO. She would always go around saying that all the men at school loved her and that she was the best woman ever. I'm not sure why, but she has a lot of confidence in herself. I know this may sound mean, but she was the most annoying person I can remember from school. Ever since we graduated from high school, the only other time we ran into one another was at a class reunion that was held during my college years.
Someone as shallow and annoying as her is back looking for you now?
If I were to think about what might have brought her all the way out to me, it might have to do with the fact that our moms were good friends back in the day, so we would see one another a lot. As far as I'm aware, both of our moms are still actually friends with one another and tend to hang out a lot. To me, all Ivy ever was a really annoying classmate, and there was never anything back then that we did together. However, I do remember hearing from my mom back in elementary school that Ivy had this dream about marrying people from class, and she ended up marrying me of all people. I mean, this has to be so far-fetched, but do you think she might be back around me now because of that dream?
Considering the type of woman I was having to talk with today over text, that sounds like the kind of thing that's happening with her. Actually, there is something that your mom said to me back when we had first gotten married. It was something along the lines of her saying that there was a girl who she viewed as her daughter that she really believed you'd be getting married to. And she said that to me in a very hateful and upset kind of tone at the time.
Wait, something like that was said to you by her?
Based on what you've said to me, I can tell now who your mom had been talking about back then.
I'm so sorry about what my mom had said to you.
Don't bother apologizing for that now. It happened years and years ago.
I know, but...
Right now, though, I really don't want to be getting wrapped up in whatever kind of situation that Ivy woman wants to have with you. So could you please do something about her, and perhaps your mom as well, if she has anything to do with this?
I can. Don't worry. It's crazy that someone as annoying as her would be coming back into my life at a time like now, but I'll figure out some way to get her out of here. When I have some good news for you regarding her, I'll make sure to send you a text with the info.
Please and thank you.
But there is one small problem here. I never once gave Ivy my phone number in the past, and I've even changed it a few times since the last time I ran into her.
Wait, is that so?
I'm going to assume that it was my mom who went and gave my current number to her.
That would mean it was your mom who went and told her about who I am and what happened between you and I.
When it comes to my mom, you're more than welcome to block her number as well as anyone else in my family's number. I'll make sure to handle all of this for you now.
I'll go ahead and block them all right now. Good luck with the cleanup, Jim. Jim! It's been such a long time since I last saw you. Oh, this is your newly found fiancé, Ivy.
What? Then does that mean you went and got my number and everything from my mom?
That's right. Wouldn't it be strange for your fiancé to not even have your number or know much about your current situation? So I went and had her tell me everything.
Wait, you hold on a second there. The last time you and I ever met one another was years and years ago at that class reunion when we were still in college, right? And after that, even if we saw one another, we never said a word to each other and just carried on with our lives. I get that our moms may still be very good friends with one another to this day, but that doesn't mean you and I have ever had anything with one another. So what the heck do you think you're doing, calling yourself my fiancé now?
Come on, I can tell that you're getting all nervous and are blushing right now.
What?
I know already, Jim. I know about how you went to that really good college for me and that you aim to find a job within a really large and famous company with a heavy salary to prepare for your future with me. And you have been working so hard at that company now, climbing up the company ladder, all for me. But while you've been going through all that hard work doing your best for me, I'd been with other men and even married one of them. That really broke your heart to see and was terrible for you. So you went and married a woman of your own, that Laurel bitch. And this whole time since you've married her, you've been regretting it all, right? But then you found out about how I went and had that divorce with my husband. And that's why you went and divorced Laurel as quickly as you could, so that you'd be ready for me to move in and marry you, right?
What?
Right? I'm totally right about all of this, aren't I? Well, this was all told to me by your mom, of all people. You should have been with your mom at the time she told me all of that, because I was moved so dramatically and knew I had to come to you.
This is the first time I'm hearing about you having gotten married and having gotten divorced.
No way. You're going to joke around with me like that again, Jim? It's totally fine for you to just open up to me now and show me all the feelings you've had all along, okay? I'm telling you, I don't care that you ended up marrying another woman like that when you were getting so jealous of all the men I was with, and I forgive you for it. Now, this weekend, I'll be coming over to your house again to start moving in with you. Around that time, Laurel should be moving out of the house for good, so you and I can head to the courthouse right after I've dropped off all my stuff and get married to each other. This is going to be the start of our happy life together as husband and wife, all right?
That was freaking awful, Laurel.
What happened?
About Ivy, man. She just started to text me out of nowhere, you know?
Ah, so that really does mean that your mom went and told her your number, right?
She told me that herself when I had asked.
So can you go into detail about what all was so awful about her? Besides the things I very much know now.
Having to explain all of it to you is going to be a bit difficult for me because it's so far out there in terms of madness. You know what? I'm going to just send you screenshots of everything, all right? I think that would be easier on me and would be better for you to fully understand everything.
Sounds good. Man, this is all so hard for me to read through right now because of how cringy it all is.
Now that I've gone ahead and seen it all, I think this was the best time for it. Had she come over a day earlier or whatever, I would have had to see her in person, and I don't even want to know what the hell that could be like.
Very true.
As for you, Laurel, things have all come to this now, and I would hate for you to have to deal with that chick any more than you've already had to, so how about you work on those plans you'd made up before and take care of your business right now? I've already finished all of my prep and I'm ready to get going.
Good point. I guess it's about time I wrap all of what I had planned out up. Thanks for mentioning that, as well as showing me these screenshots. I'm going to call my company, and depending on what they say, I'll try to get things moving along by Friday. Hey, what the hell is all of this? Laurel, this is nothing at all like the promise you had made to me before. What? Did you and I ever make a promise with one another before today? About this house, we sure did. We made the promise that you would be out of this house by the weekend, right? Well, right now it's the start of that weekend we talked about before, and yet that promise you made to me wasn't upheld. If that's what you're referring to right now, I made sure to leave the house on Friday. I don't care about when you left the house, you idiot. Then why are your panties in such a twist? Things like all the furniture that was in here and all of the appliances that were in here. There is nothing left anymore as all of those things have disappeared. There is literally nothing left in this house for me anymore. I never told you that you could take things like the furniture and the appliances that were supposed to be mine with you. Could you hold on for just a second there, please? If you're able to tell me all of those things about the inside of the house right now, does that mean you're actually inside the place? Well, of course I'm in the house. Starting today, the place is mine, according to that promise. And how exactly were you able to open any of the doors without a key? I got a spare key from Jim's mom, for crying out loud. We told that woman to give back all of those keys she went and had made without ever asking for permission to. Yet she still had some left over, huh? Huh? Listen, you'd better start explaining things to me right now so that I can understand what's going on here. All right. Starting with the conclusion to everything regarding the house, it belongs to a realty company now and is no longer mine. Huh? Maybe it's because I asked them to take it off my hands earlier than I had first planned on selling them the place by. They weren't able to change any of the locks yet. I'll have to give them a call about that. As for most of the older furniture and appliances that I had, I rented a dumpster and had them all tossed and taken to the dump. And anything that was in better shape and had some value to it still, I made sure to sell to the pawn shop down the road. Why would you do all of that? Well, I never planned on going back to that house once I was already out, and since the place I've moved into already has furniture and everything for me, there was no real reason to keep any of it. You get what I'm saying? What do you think you're doing, selling and tossing out all my things without my permission, though? Are you some kind of a mentally disabled criminal or something? How dare you go out selling someone else's things like that and then tossing all the rest when they weren't even yours? The name on that house before I sold it was always mine and never anybody else's, okay? Huh? And actually, before I had taken it over, it was my mom's house. And before her, it belonged to my grandparents. But after a lot of things ended up happening in the family, the house was eventually given to me and my name was put on it. That happened at about the same time I got married to Jim, and so we went and spiffed the place up a bit and then made it our first home together. What? Is what you just said there really true? It sure is. Very much the truth, actually. And if I really wasn't the owner of that house the whole time, then how would I have been able to sell it so easily? Hold on a second. If that's the case and this house is no longer ours, then where are Jim and I supposed to go and live? You're asking me that question? Oh, by the way, could you cut all of that talk about you and Jim being a thing out now? He's not your fiancé, and he never said that he wanted to marry you either. Huh? What's wrong with me calling myself his fiancé when I am literally his fiancé? Well, the problem with that is Jim and I are planning to get remarried soon and can't have you running around saying you're his fiancé. You guys are going to get remarried to one another? Right now is a better time than any to tell you about this story, so I'm going to do that right now. The divorce we both had is only meant to last a little bit. Huh? Your divorce is only meant to last a little bit? What does that mean? Wait. Tell me what the hell that actually means. Since you and I have never actually met one another in person before, you're probably unaware of the kind of body that I have. In other words, the state of health that I'm in right now. But due to Jim's mom always harassing me, she ended up causing me to get really injured after pushing me down a flight of stairs on purpose. What? Most of the injuries are healed now, but a lot of the worse ones that ended up happening deeper inside of me are still healing, and that means it's a rough time for me still. And a week after having been assaulted, basically, by her, I wanted to get a settlement and call the police on her with the help of Jim, but she wouldn't have that and all and threw so many fits. Jim and I really talked about things after we couldn't get past his mom, and eventually he told me he didn't even want to be a part of her family anymore. And so he and I got a divorce in the hopes that by getting remarried to one another, he can take my family's name and relinquish his mom's. In other words, he's going to have your last name? One night only. See, this is us taking too many steps to not really achieve anything more than we already had. But to my parents, they would like to view him as their son, and considering we all want him to escape from his toxic mom and never have to be reminded of her, we all agreed that we'd let him have my family's name. There were, of course, other ways to change his last name without the divorce and all of that, but it would have taken longer for that to happen, and so divorce and then remarrying sounded like the best option. So we made sure to tell the courthouse and the clerk about what was going to happen and that we'd get divorced, fill out a bunch of new paperwork with his last name being made mine, and then we'd get remarried. Then you both getting that divorce was all for... That's right. It was giving him the chance to take himself out of his mom's family and place himself into mine instead. We plan to have this marriage completed when things have calmed down and we're all moved in. Are you kidding me? The only thing that happened during all of this that we weren't expecting was Jim's mom saying that we had gotten divorced because he was in love with her longtime friend's daughter and that you were to marry him next. Basically, she made up a bunch of lies about Jim and I, all so that you'd think you were his fiancé and so that she could have you as a daughter-in-law instead of me. By the way, Jim told his mom just this morning that he was cutting ties to her and that he'd never be talking to her again. Hold on a second. That man you're planning to get remarried to soon? Do you mind letting me have him instead? Excuse me? To make this all short for you, you being able to cut ties with his mom and everything is the best thing for you, right? And since you're already moved into a new place and no longer have to come back to this house, you're off her grid now. So there shouldn't be any issues with him becoming my husband now, right? And by the way, if he were to make me his wife, then he wouldn't have to cut ties with his mom and everyone could be happy again. Look at that. I am definitely the one that should be getting married to him next, since I'm best for his family. All right, that's the plan we're all going to be going with. Where's Jim at right now? If you tell me where he's been staying, I'll go out and get him right away. Did I not just tell you a second ago that this morning he had gone to his mom to tell her that he'd be cutting ties to her and would never speak to her again? What? And right now he's not even in the U.S. anymore. Huh? He and I left today to live overseas for a while. You guys went overseas? After the both of us went and spoke to our respective higher-ups, Jim said a location overseas was in need of some support and could use his help. And mine said that I could work remotely from anywhere that had internet if I really wanted to, so we'll both be fine. Actually, I meant to say that Jim left before me and has been at our new place for a bit now, and I'm still on my way. Well, I'm going to go there right now. You are? You being the only one who gets to go overseas and live a relaxing life as his housewife isn't fair. I'm a better fit for a life like that, and I am going to take it. I did just say that I'm going to be working remotely over there, didn't I? Huh? And it was actually me who had the idea for him to quit his job and let me do all of the work for the two of us, but he shot that idea down. What? But that means you can leave your job, right? Not with the salary reduction he's received for doing this. Huh? If I stopped working my job, we wouldn't be able to sustain ourselves out here. So I have to keep working regardless of whatever he does. What? Now, it's getting time for us to wrap all this up, right? Wait a sec. When I got divorced from my last husband, I accidentally also cut ties to all of my family. And because of that, I was left with nowhere to call home. The idea was that if I could be married to Jim, I would have myself a new husband and a new place to call my home. And the other plan was to ask for Jim to pay for the settlement I still owe my ex-husband after the divorce. Could you stop talking to me about your life already? But, I am on my plane right now and I am ready to leave, which means I'm putting my phone into airplane mode pretty soon here. And considering I'll be going to a completely different country now, I won't be able to use the SIM card I have anymore. Wait a sec! Goodbye. I don't have a house or any money, though, Laurel! I only learned this a few days ago, but the reason that Ivy even had to get divorced by her ex in the first place was because she had an affair with another man. She had to break up with that man as well, and that left her with no place to go and sleep. However, when she came across my mother-in-law at the time, she told her that she'd give me a reason to leave her son, and that Ivy could marry him after I was gone. And, well, after having pushed me down those stairs and heard about the divorce Jim and I got not too long after I was kind of healed up, she told Ivy to make her move. What happened after Ivy found out that Jim was far from her reach and I was going to be marrying him, she turned her attention back at Jim's mom in anger. She made an attack on the apartment building that Jim's mom is living in, and there they met and started having this massive brawl in the hallway. But this happened at the end of the hallway, closest to the emergency exit, and when one of them pushed the other through the door, they both stumbled down 5 flights of stairs, breaking all sorts of bones. They're both in the hospital now after having sustained even more serious injuries than I had, and are under investigation by the police now as well. They both don't really have any other family around them willing to help them out with their recovery and finances, and are pretty much done for in terms of their remaining life. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Excuse me, Mia, are you really going to be having a wedding now of all times? Long time no see, Shay. And yes, the plan is to have the wedding next month. It's been a whole year now since you both got married to one another, so something about this seems really off to me. And you happen to know what happened a year ago that ended up forcing your brother and I to postpone any talks about having a wedding, right? Huh? It was your family that wasn't happy with the idea of us having our wedding at the same time as when we went to the courthouse and got married. So things went from that to everyone wanting us to first get married and then thinking about things like a wedding afterwards. I remember now. Well, you better not be blaming me for being the reason you had to wait a whole year to have a wedding. I never said it was your fault, though. Actually, you have nothing to do with the reasoning behind it at all, Shay. Huh? Why's that? Because you never had anything to do with it. You've always acted like such a victim, though, both you and your mom, and that's why this time we're not going to be inviting you to the wedding. Oh, that's what I really wanted to talk about. Why are you not inviting my mom and I to your wedding? This is going to be my little brother's wedding of all things. This is what your brother wants, though, so how about you go and ask him why? What? Why? Go ask him. But do you really need him to explain why? I really don't think you should be forgetting the reason for why, though. Well, I know the reason why. Well, then there's no need for an explanation, is there? Huh? Wait. I'm going now. Mom? I went ahead and had a look into what was going on there with Mia and Mike's wedding. Oh, hello, Shay. How did things go there? It seems like they're having the wedding next month, and of course you and I aren't being invited to it. Ah, well, I knew that was going to be the case. Had I never come across your father on the phone with Mike speaking about all of this, I wouldn't have even known that he and Mia would be holding a wedding at all. And to make things worse, that Mia chick, she kept on going on about how us not being invited was something that Mike had wanted, but Mike would never say something like that about us, right? I know that he wants us at the wedding more than anyone else. What was that? Oh, there's no way that Mike would ever say he doesn't want his own mother and sister at his wedding. Is this her harassing both her sister-in-law and mother-in-law then? That surely means Mike is being tricked by her as well now, right? She must have been saying all sorts of bad things about you and I, all in order to brainwash Mike into thinking we're both bad people or something. I see. That's most likely been what's going on here then. You and I need to talk about a plan of attack for this right now, Mom. Understood. Mia, you invite both my mom and I to your wedding right now, please. We've been patient enough with you now, and we'll give you one last chance to send us those invitations. Could you please go and talk with Mike about that right now? I'm not the one that chose to keep you both away from the wedding, and I won't go inviting the both of you without his permission now. I will not accept that it is him who wants my mom and I to stay away from his wedding, though. Then how about instead of wasting both of our time with this, you go and talk with him or something? I don't even understand why you're still talking to me when I've told you plenty of times now that he's the one that asked for all of this. So go have a word with him. I want you to go have a talk with him. If you keep asking me to go and talk with my own brother about this, you are going to really piss me off. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to be caught in the middle of this. Mia, so far my daughter and I have received no form of an invitation in the mail for your wedding. What exactly is going on there? As the mother of the groom, there is no way for me not to be there on his big day. It's been a long time since I last spoke with you, Diana. I spoke with your daughter about all of this already last week, and like I'd said to her, it is your son who said that he doesn't want to invite either one of you to his wedding. Asking me over and over why this is and for me to invite you both is not going to make your dreams come true. So could you please go talk with Mike instead of me? It's because he's not listening to either one of us right now that the only option we have left is to talk with you about all of this. You are the one responsible for all of this after all. Right, so I'm the one that's behind everything? I'm sure that you've been talking about both my daughter and I to Mike in a bad way, making him hate us more and more for no reason at all, right? That's why the both of us are asking you to go and have a word with him right now in order to fix this mess that you've created. Could you please both think back on what the both of you had done to Mike before coming to me asking that again? Huh? If you were to just remember what happened, then you would have your answer as to why Mike doesn't want you or Shay at the wedding.
is no use with her, is there? She won't budge at all on her stance of not inviting us to her wedding.
I see. So not even you could break her to find the answer?
All we'd need is a way into that wedding, and then we can figure things out from there.
There's no choice. Since she's wanting to act like that, we're going to have to play our last hand.
What's the plan, Shay?
A friend of mine happens to work over at that wedding venue. As long as I go and have a talk with them about this, I am sure they could help us out in some way to make sure we can get back at Mia.
Is that so? So you've had a friend like that this whole time?
I knew that this would be the hardest plan to carry out and quite the pain in our butts, and that's why I was saving it as a sort of last resort. We have another 2 weeks before the day of that wedding. Guess there's no choice but to go with it all now. Oh no, the bride's changing room is going all crazy now.
Good morning, Shay. Did something happen already?
Oh my, so the main guest of today's wedding is still not aware of what's happened? Well, here's the what happened, Mia. My little kid accidentally got red wine all over your wedding dress.
What? They got red wine all over my wedding dress? But Shay, your kid is only 5 years old, right? What were they doing carrying around a glass of red wine?
We wanted to really celebrate you and Mike today, so we bought a whole bunch of red wine for everyone.
Wait, what? That doesn't explain anything about your kid having wine.
I know you didn't invite me to be here today, but in the end, I really wanted to come and celebrate you guys so badly. The staff told me that I wasn't invited, but I asked them to please let me in to at least give you your present and say hi. So after my mom and I talked with the staff at the front for a bit, they let us all in. But when we made our way over to your dressing room, you weren't inside it yet. And so we were waiting and waiting, and, well, not being able to sit around all day waiting, my kid got into the bag that had the red wine for everyone and opened one up. When my mom and I finally realized what she was doing, she had spilled a lot of the wine all over your wedding dress. Then she took a fall and the glass shattered, spilled all the rest of the wine onto your dress, making it even worse. So sorry for getting your dress all messy. Wine is also really hard to get out of clothing, and with the amount on your dress now, there is no way you're getting those stains out today. Now your only option is to have your wedding canceled today, right? But of course, my kid was who caused this, and since they're a kid after all, you'll have to forgive them. And originally, this all happened because you never chose to invite my mom or I to this wedding of yours today, right? The one who should actually be apologizing right now is you, Mia.
Shay, that's not my dress you're talking about.
What? What do you mean?
And actually, my wedding with Mike is already over now.
What? Your guys' wedding is already finished? Since when did that happen?
Yesterday.
You had your wedding yesterday? You said that the wedding would be on the weekend, so I was sure you meant on Sunday.
But based on Mike's and my work schedule, Saturday was the best option for us to hold our wedding on.
No way.
Do you and your mom have any idea whose wedding you're even at right now?
We're in S City at the S Wedding Hall right now.
Ah, so you guys don't even have the right location either.
This isn't the right venue?
At first, Mike and I really wanted to go there for our wedding, but after talking with the wedding planner there, she told us that the Saturday we had in mind was all full. So after a little bit of talking and thinking about other places we want to have the wedding, we decided to say screw it and went with a wedding in the Florida Keys instead. So that's where we're both at right now.
You're in the Florida Keys?
And as for the people who were invited to the wedding, that would just be my parents and your father.
So my dad is there with you guys as well right now?
2 days ago, right after he'd gotten out of work, he went straight to the airport and flew out here to be with us. Don't tell me that you never even noticed your father being gone and away from home for the past 2 days, Shay.
I never once noticed he was gone.
Is that right?
So this then means, this dress.
I would really like to know who the heck's dress you guys went and ruined today.
I have no idea.
Wait, did you all run away from that location?
But we thought...
I suggest you guys all prepare yourselves for what comes next because you're going to have hell to pay here soon. You're not going to be able to run away from that mess as you already had to talk your way into that wedding through the staff, so they know your faces. Good luck! Mia! This is all your fault, so you're going to be the one to pay that $50,000 right now. Excuse me? Ah, so that's the amount both the bride and groom asked you all to pay up after you went and ruined their wedding the other day, right? I don't know all the details about that wedding, but from what I've heard, that wedding dress was made by a very famous designer based in France that you went and ruined. You thought that we should have known that just by looking at it? I told them that it was my kids' fault, but neither one of them would listen to me or forgive us. When it comes to something the child does, it's always on the parents to be responsible for it. And from the very start, weren't you planning on using your kid as a scapegoat so that you could be forgiven by me for going and ruining my dress? The whole story you made up was already quite unbelievable, but you trying to use it on another couple really shows just how desperate you and your mother are. Stop it with all your rambling and pay us that $50,000. They told us we have to pay them in one lump payment, so you get all of that $50,000 right now and send it our way. No way. Huh? I have nothing to do with your guys' problems right now. Goodbye. I was just told by my husband that he wants to divorce me now. I have to turn things around for myself right now, and I need you to go and have a word with him to set him straight. Why should I have to do that? Just like you did to my son, you've gone and brainwashed my husband. Wait. I never did anything to either of the guys, and I have no reason to be brainwashing your husband, even if I was doing that. Then why the hell is my husband saying he wants a divorce now? Maybe it's because you're exactly the kind of person he doesn't like. Huh? I'm going to stop talking to you now. What kind of person are you talking about right now? I've been told by my husband that he wants to divorce me now, and he's going to take full custody of my kid as well. What the hell is going on here? I heard about all of that from him already. He said that in order for you to get into Mike's and my wedding so that you could ruin it for us, you went and talked with one of your friends that worked in that wedding venue and got them to help in letting you inside without an invite. And it turns out that the friend you have working for you at the wedding venue is your ex-boyfriend, right? If you already know about all of that, then you start giving me the money I asked for. I'm already having to pay up close to $50,000 alongside my own mom for the wedding that was ruined, and now I'm having to pay even more. Come on already, why do you keep asking me to give you money when I have literally nothing to do with you? Because you're part of the reason all of this is having to happen to me, so help me the hell out. So you're just going to continue blaming me like that until the end of time, huh? I don't care what you think about this. Help me! Right now your own husband's older sister is in a massive pinch. Well, about that husband of mine, he already told me that he's cutting ties to you now. What? Which means that there is really no reason at all for me to be helping you out, let alone talking to you like this anymore. He's cutting ties to me? So goodbye forever. Mom! Mike just went and cut ties to me forever! He did the same thing to me a second ago as well. What? I just opened the mailbox and there was a letter inside it from him where he explained all of the feelings he has towards me now. And it seems that recently, while you and I had been busy with our own problems, him and Mia moved away. What? And your father divorced me and left the house. He divorced you? He said he's selling the house, so you and I have to get out of here really soon as well now. Huh? He's selling the house now too? Hold on a second, Mom. I'm being divorced by my husband as well, and I won't have a house to go home to now? That house is all I have. You think I can do anything to help you out now? What the hell are we going to do from here on out, though? Both you and I aren't working or anything either. Oh, stop complaining to me about all of it and start trying to help yourself. Seriously, Mom, what the hell are we going to do now? Mike had always lived a life of being picked on and harassed under both his older sister and his mother, leading him to become pretty depressed during his teenage years. This led him to lose a lot of confidence in himself, and that made it near impossible for him to find a girlfriend in high school as well as in college. But once he had graduated from college and had searched for work, he made sure to look for places far away from his family in order to escape them. His time being in college with brand new people also helped him gain some of his confidence back and opened him up a bit more, freeing him from being so depressed. When he had gotten his first job and moved out of the house, he met me, and I became his first ever girlfriend. And when it came to Mike's father, a rather quiet man that didn't ever get his way in the house, the idea of divorcing Diana had popped into his head not too long after Mike left the house. So this time, having gone with his daughter to a wedding that wasn't even Mike's or mine, and ruined it for the bride and groom that day after intending to do that to ours, he had had it with Diana. After that day, people from both Diana's and Shay's life slowly began to leave, making it more difficult for the two to find anyone to help them out. And the only thing they ended up having left was debt. Shay's debt came from both the money she had to pay the groom and bride for their wedding and the wedding dress which she had ruined, as well as a settlement she had to pay her husband. That ex-boyfriend she had been asking to help her into the wedding, which she assumed was mine, only did so under the condition that they had a one-night stand. And so, of course, she went ahead and did that, but not secretly enough to evade her husband, who found out and made that another reason for their divorce. Diana's debt came primarily from the wedding she helped ruin as well, along with having to help Shay pay off her settlement to her ex-husband since she kind of helped Shay have that affair. As of right now, those two are having to live a life in a very small and run-down apartment. They both now live shifting the blame back and forth as to whose fault all of this was, while both working low-level jobs trying to pay off all the debt they had to go into. There are times where both of them will try calling either Mike or I, saying that they'd learned their lessons and wanted to make things up after becoming family to us again. But both Mike and I know that's a lie, and have since gone and blocked both of their numbers and deleted their contact information off of our phones. When we moved into our new house, we also made sure to never tell anyone in that family, not even Mike's father, about our new address. And only just started talking with his father again after the divorce had happened. Mike is now much closer to his office as well with this new house, and I'm closer to my parents' house. All in all, this was a very happy ending for almost everyone, minus both Shay and Diana, who will be forever regretting their wrongdoings. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Helen, I'm coming over to your place right now. What? Why are you questioning that? Tomorrow is going to be the 4th of July, right? So, we are coming over today and we will be staying at your place for the next couple of nights. This means that both your daughter-in-law and your son are on their way to your house right now, and you need to be ready for us. London? We should be arriving there just before dinner time, so make sure to have something fancy made for the both of us to eat. I can try my best to get something ready for you guys. We are already out of the house now and on our way, so you can't tell us no to that now. What? Lucas, you should be finishing up with your work for today now, right? Do you mind swinging by the supermarket on your way home from there to pick some more things for me?
Hi, honey. I think I can do that. What all do you want me to pick up for you?
Can you get me another dozen eggs and also a large cabbage? Also, you'll be passing by that cake shop that I really like. Could you stop in there and find a small cake that can feed 4 for dessert?
A cake? And for 4 people to eat? Who else is going to be at the house tonight?
Axel and London are coming. I got a couple of texts from London a little bit ago, saying that they were both coming back to our house.
This again? What I never get about these kinds of situations is it's always London who ends up texting us about what she wants to do, and never Axel himself.
Well, perhaps Axel likes her to be in charge of all those things, and if that's the case, then I have nothing else to say. Anyway, this plan came out of nowhere from London, so we'll have to have dinner for 4 now. I'm currently working on that now, so I'd like you to stop and grab those things for me, so that we'll have enough for everyone tonight.
Sounds good. I'll try to make it quick.
Sorry for bringing this up to you so late, but thank you for understanding and doing that for me. Helen, it shouldn't be too much longer before we pull into your driveway. Is the driveway a good place for us to park the car? What? So you both are almost here then? And you guys decided to take the car this time? What about taking the bus like all those times before? We decided we wanted to drive ourselves this time. Do you have a problem with that? I'm sorry, but we only have one parking space at our townhouse, so you're going to have to find somewhere else to park your car. There is a parking garage just down the road that you can use, and it should only be around $15 a day. Huh? But that would cost like $60 by the end of this trip. How about you take your car out of that parking spot and park it over at the parking garage so that we can park our car in your spot? Why should we be having to do something like that for you? You both should have the money to park in that car garage, right? Huh? Listen, London. You already started off the wrong note by only telling me that you were heading over to stay here with my husband and I last minute. So I have been having to get things like food ready for you both as well as a room. So please do something about parking yourselves so that I may continue to focus making you guys your dinner for tonight. I have 2 pots on the stove right now boiling, so I cannot go out to move the car anyway. I will talk to you both when you arrive here. What? You jerk! Excuse me, London. What you've done was just a step too far over the line. What do you think you're doing throwing all that food I just made for you guys into the garbage like that? Well, listen here, Helen. Whoever said for you to make dinner yourself like that? Your older son and his wife are coming home to be with you guys, and you chose to make us trash for dinner? You think my cooking is trash? Honestly, you don't seem to think about anyone else beside yourself. At a time like this, you should be bringing us something fancy like sushi. I wanted sushi, and not just the stuff from the local gas station, but the good stuff from a sushi restaurant in town. Or perhaps it's this. Since your husband is still working in a factory as a base level employee, you guys don't have enough money for good sushi, right? You both have to live the most basic lives at this age, so you can't even imagine what fancy food tastes like. My husband is making enough money every year where we do not have to sleep under a bridge or starve, and we happen to enjoy living a simple life, making food at home, and enjoying things like movies and walks together. So what, you're trying to tell me is that you're both poor, right? But come on now, you have to start doing better than that. Because guess what? Today is the day your very important older son and his super cute wife are staying with you. So get us some damn sushi, you low-life trash. All you have to do is spend the money that you'd normally spend on yourselves each day for food, about 2 to 3 days worth of money, and spend that sushi for us tonight. That should work for your husband and you, right? And actually, I'm already on my way to the sushi restaurant down the other side of the street, and I'll be getting dinner from there. That $200 you had in the drawer is going to be used for dinner, so I made sure to take that with me. What? Hey, wait! That was all we had left for this month's groceries, and I will be using it very carefully on tonight's dinner. London, you get back here right now!
Hey, honey, are you still awake?
What? Oh, hi, Lucas. Yes, I'm still awake. You do realize I'm in the same house as you right now, so you don't have to text me if you want to talk.
Just now, Axel came over to my office to chat with me.
Did something happen to him?
He came to hand me back that $200 that London took from us, and thought that he could hand it to me while she's not awake. Also, he has something he wanted to talk to us about. Originally, the plan was that he'd come back to our house in secret, without having London come along with him. But she ended up finding out about his plan, and so he had to make up a lie saying that the both of them would come to stay here for the 4th. And well, right now, Helen is sleeping in the next room over to my office, and so I don't want her to hear Axel and I talking, or me coming to talk to you.
So that's why we're texting instead. Well, how about I get out of the bed and come to your office?
You can do that, but be really quiet so that you don't wake her up, and please shut the door quietly when you come here. I'll make sure to turn on my noise machine to try and mute out our voices, and then we can talk about what to do with London.
Understood. Hey, Helen! Get that damn bath ready for me. It's not even 10 in the morning yet and you're already yelling? The bath? I always get the bath every morning, and today will be no different. I never knew about that. Jesus! I came back pretty late last night and did get into the shower before I crashed, so you had to know that I'd be needing a bath this morning, right? Have you never had guests over to your house before? You need to be more considerate of me and make sure the bath is ready by the time I'm waking up. Or could it be that you and your husband don't want to have the water and heating bill go up, and so that's why you guys never use the bath? That's exactly what I expected from two poor people. We are not as poor as you seem you want to think, London. But look, your husband is working in a factory. That makes the both of you lowlives. London, the only reason you married my boy is for his money, right? Huh? What's this all about? My son is working for a very large company at the moment, making a lot more than people his age. And to you, he is like the perfect ATM, right? But here's the problem. That wasn't quite the truth, and Axel actually ended up being a contractor to that company. So he isn't really making the amount of money you thought he was. And then you came to learn that his father is also not making as much as you'd like, since he's just working as a factory worker. Hence why you are now calling my husband and I lowlives and saying we don't have any money to cater to you with either. You are upset right now, and you are a bit bummed out because your plan of marrying my son for his money didn't work out. And so, find that to be good reason to act like a jackass now. That's right! I was freaking lied to! I didn't know that your son was just a contractor there and that your husband only works at a factory. What the hell is wrong with your family being some of the most moneyless people ever? You had never talked with my husband much until after you married Axel, so I won't blame you for not knowing everything about him. But when it comes to Axel, you and him had been dating for a long time before you got married, so how come you didn't learn the truth about this line of work then? What? Well, it's too late for an answer to that to affect anything now, so I'll leave it be. From what I'd heard, you have no idea what it means to be a contractor, do you? Huh? How do I have no idea about them? Of course, there are plenty of contractors who aren't making as much as they should be in their line of work. But in the case of my son, he someday plans to have a company of his own. And in order to get experience to put towards that company, he is going around doing work as a contractor for a few different companies. Also, Axel happens to be very skilled in the work he performs, so he's already making more than average contractor does, with plenty of bonuses as well. Are you serious? And as for my husband that you always call a lowlife, he's in charge of a factory he works at. Uh-huh. After graduating from trade school as an operator, he went and worked for the factory he's now at for 3 years. After those 3 years, he was asked to do more training for larger operations and then worked as a manager of a shift there for a bit. And once some time had passed and the previous leader of that factory left, he was promoted and took over. And he's been doing that for 3 years now. What? No way. Do you have something you'd like to say about this? Hi, Lucas. Are you out of the house today?
Hello, London. What do you want with me right now?
I just wanted to apologize to you for not really ever talking to you at all before and after marrying your son. So, do you have time today to meet with me and chat? Well, if you have the time around noon, let's go out to eat and we can take your time talking to one another.
Around noon, I don't have any plans out of the house and was thinking of having lunch at home with the family.
What?
Today is the 4th of July, and because of that, I was able to get the day off work. And that means I'm going to be home all day today.
Ah,
That also means my son and wife are with me. Do you understand?
you're kidding, right?
No matter what you try and do to get me to go out with you, this is the last day you'll ever be hearing from me. And I think the same goes for the rest of my family.
The last day? Wait, does this mean what I think it means? You're going to be divorcing your wife?
Huh?
Oh no. That means things from now on are going to get a little more difficult for you, right? Well, if you still need me around, I'll be willing to live with you wherever you go.
Shut the hell up. And get the hell out of my house, now!
What? What the hell is going on? Your husband is a total asshole. He came out of his office and started to grab all my things and then tossed them out into the yard, yelling at me to get out of his house. Why the hell am I getting kicked out when it should be you getting kicked out of here in the divorce? Nobody ever said that I was getting divorced, though. The only person I'm aware of who will be going through that is you. What? You really seem to have done a great job lying to my older son, right? What are you talking about right now? There was a man you had been going out with before you married Axel, correct? That's a little... Well, Axel already had someone go and take a look at all that, and he has some great evidence now. Huh? You had planned on using my son as an ATM after marrying him, so that you could go out with that other man on more high-end dates. But when you started to try and get to who you thought was a weak man's money, he turned out to have a tight grip on his wallet. The only money you were able to manage from him was just enough to buy food for you guys while he was working, and that was it. So, you confronted him, and that's when he told you that he was a contractor, where you turned on him and started to complain about why he was giving you such a small amount of money, and that was all due with him being poor. But Helen, this is all stuff that Axel had brought up to his father and I the other night, so some of it might have been a little off. Could you please let me know if I missed something there? But Helen! But what? I never knew that there could be contractors making more money than proper employees make. And you only have your lack of knowledge and awareness to blame for that. Now that you understand that we all know the truth, I'll tell you why Axel was originally coming home. He wanted to be here, to start working on all the divorce papers with us. Divorce? He was going to go have some talks with partners of his about starting up his own company soon, but he didn't want to finish with those talks until after the divorce. So he chose to hold off on those plans and come here to finish everything up with you. There's nothing that can be done about it now. The divorce is set in stone. He can't do that to me. I'll break up with my boyfriend, alright? Breaking up with him now wouldn't help you any, and would probably only make things worse. But I've only just found out that Axel has been making good money this whole time. I can't allow him to get away from me now. No way! You're not even going to hide your true intentions now, are you? Well, at least I won't be the only one getting divorced then. You're going to lose your husband soon as well, right? That's why I don't care about telling you how I really feel about why I'm married to Axel. Dan, my husband and I aren't getting a divorce. Huh? But just a second ago your husband was talking about a divorce. And that's just another one of your delusions that you've been having. Because I was right next to him, looking at his phone while he texted you, and he typed out that Axel would be divorcing you. What? Now don't worry, because I'm showing everything you've told me to Axel right now. Wait! Hurry up and sign the papers, and then get the hell off our property and never come back. I don't want to leave! Now, make sure to talk with Axel about what else he has in store for you. I don't want you to, jerk! I don't care what you want, you big baby. What? I'm going now. Bye forever, London. Right after I stopped talking with London, Axel told me that he paid some of his friends to stop by his house and take all of his things out and start moving them to our place. This meant that he would start to live with us right away, and would only be going back to that house later when he needed to sell it. My husband and I later sat down for some drinks while my son was out of the house, and thought about what made our son fall in love with that girl while laughing. A few days later, we heard from Axel that he had gotten in touch with a lawyer, and would be getting a settlement from both London and her boyfriend. He was also able to get all the money she took from him and used on dates back, and then the divorce was finished, and he had no longer had to deal with her. After the divorce was complete, days went by where we were all able to get back to our normal lives and not have to worry about what happened to London after. However, 1 year after the divorce, we found out that both London and her boyfriend got arrested. When I went online to look up what happened with those two, it had to do with them having a fraud marriage or something. And well, they lied about getting married by forging some documents, and when the bank later found this out, they sent the police after them. I guess her boyfriend and her were in some real need of money, and went to those lengths to try and get some loans. At least the three of us in my family all were able to cut ties to her before something like that happened, and we all gave a big sigh of relief at the same time thinking about that. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of this story. See you at the next story. Goodbye.
Bree, I went ahead and planned out our trip to go to stay at an inclusive resort nearby, so both you and my son can stop worrying about where to go now.
What?
Every year, we make sure to plan a trip out to take my grandkids and everyone somewhere, right? And this year, we will all be going to this resort that I was recommended to, and it's all inclusive and has a water park. I made the reservations for the last weekend in July, so please be ready to go by that time. This place is pretty expensive, and it rarely ever has any rooms open for reservation in the summer, so I think you all are really going to enjoy this trip.
Holly? Normally, we always decide where to go for summer vacation based off where the kids want to go. So you going and reserving a place for everyone without asking my husband or I... That wasn't very smart of you.
Excuse me? Are you trying to say that you don't like what I've done by planning this trip to that resort out for us?
I'm not trying to be rude about it or anything. It's just, this year my husband and I had something else in mind for summer vacation.
You had other plans in mind? Then you go ahead and change those plans so that they match up with this resort vacation I've made.
What? Well, about that...
I went ahead and got us all a reservation at a very famous resort that is otherwise fully booked for the summer. I was lucky enough to look at the website just at the right time when someone else had canceled their reservation. And so there is no way I'll be able to change my plans on my end. So you figure things out on your end and do not ruin this for me. Now, go ahead and tell Patrick and my grandkids about the new plan that have been made, please.
Patrick, sorry for texting you while you're busy with work, but do you have a second to talk with me?
Hey, Bree. What's going on?
Your mom. She went ahead and reserved us a trip at the resort without even asking any of us first.
Huh?
She told me that she got the reservation for a really expensive resort during the last weekend in July, and had been lucky enough to get the days that someone else ended up canceling. And now she's told me that we have to be available for that trip and can't have any other plans.
Wait. Are you serious? Now she's gone ahead and thrown a wrench on our plans.
I didn't know how to tell her that she made a huge mistake, so I just said that you and I had other things in mind for summer break.
Unfortunately, my mom isn't that smart of a person to understand what you were saying.
She told me to change all of her plans around then, and make the resort vacation our top priority.
I see. I'd always been wanting to tell her to stop coming along with us and the kids on our summer trips, but now she's gone ahead and jumped the gun. I thought we were finally going to be able to avoid her by setting up our own plans during a different time period, but...
Well, what should we do now? We had plans around that last weekend in July, yet now her plans have gotten us in the way.
I know. Let me have a word with my uncle about this first.
Good idea. I think you should be the first person she should talk with.
And just to be safe, I'm going to let the kids know that no matter what they hear from their grandma about her plans, they are to only stick to what we have planned.
I'll let them know that as well. We need to make sure there isn't any more confusion here. Holly, good morning. We are going to be leaving our house right now. We will be at the station in about 10 minutes or so, and then once we've picked you up, we will get on the interstate and head south.
Alright, good. I'm already at the station and have been waiting. By the way, who is the one driving?
I'm driving.
I see. Then please make your way over here as fast as you possibly can.
Patrick, how's your mom doing? I just came out of the rest stop with some snacks and drinks for everyone. And I thought that you guys would be back from the restrooms by now.
About her? She's been talking my ear off over here about how we should have taken the bus instead of having you drive. And she's complaining about how she thinks your driving is too dangerous and that it's going to get us all killed.
But she was the one that asked us to drive all the way out in one day. If she didn't like the idea of us driving this long and having me be the driver, then she should have planned things out a bit more.
She's also been going on about how you're my wife, yet you don't seem to be very thoughtful of anyone.
I'm sure that's because I'm not listening to her right now, because I'm focused on the plans we have made.
She's been so dang annoying that I just walked away from her and I'm going to join the kids over at the playground.
Well, I'm going to grab one more drink from the inside, and then I'll be ready to go again.
Bree, you no longer have to come back to the car now.
What?
Once my son and the grandkids are at the back of the car, we are going to be heading out and on our way to the resort.
But that would mean you'd leave me behind here.
That reservation I made at the resort we're going to is only meant for 4 people.
What? But there is 5 of us here together, right?
Oh, Jesus. You really aren't that great at taking any hints, are you? I'm saying that I never reserved a room for you at the resort. You are just our driver, and that's all you are. But we are going to be using this car to make it to the rest of the way, and to drive around the area, so you will have to walk all the way back home.
Walk all the way back home? You do realize that we are on the side of the interstate, in the middle of nowhere pretty much, and it would be close to 170 miles before I make it back to my house.
Well then, you'd better figure something out by yourself now.
Then what about the car and who will be driving it? Holly, the last time I heard, you had your driver's license taken away from you, right? Which means you can't drive now.
But I still have Patrick here with me. Well, since you're aware of the new plan right now, you can take your things and head home.
What? Alright then. Patrick, have you made it back to the car yet?
Not yet, actually. I'm still hanging around the playground with the kids. They've both been having a blast playing here, so I've taken a seat on one of the benches and I'm eating my sandwich. I also got myself a Coke, so I'm drinking that with it.
Then we're going to have to talk about a change of plans that have occurred. I'll come over to you right now and we can figure things out.
What? What's happened?
I just got a text from your mom telling me all some pretty crazy things. She told me that she only made reservations for 4 people at that resort.
Huh? But there are 5 of us heading there right now, yet she only reserved for 4 people?
The reason why she did that is because from the very beginning, she's planning on enjoying the resort with you and only the grandkids. I have driven us all the way out here and we're only another hour or so from the resort. But now she's telling me to walk myself all the way back home.
Are you kidding me?
You're so close to the resort now and currently at a rest stop. Which isn't the easiest place to walk back home from. I didn't think I'd have to deal with her bullying me like this just yet, and was hoping we could all make it to our destination first.
Guess we have no choice now with her. Did she even have a clue that once I found out about this, along with the kids, we'd all be on your side and want you to come along?
I wonder if she even thought that far ahead.
I doubt she did, and that's why she told you to pretty much screw off and find your own way back home. Wait a sec. There isn't anyone else that can drive the car, right?
Right? When your mom just had told me to go home, I was thinking in my head that I'm only the one who can drive the car. I kind of wanted to ask who would be driving instead of me, but she beat me to that question and gave me an answer. She thinks you're driving. So I just went along with that answer and didn't really say much else.
Unfortunately, this isn't a joke because who would actually be able to drive us the rest of the way to that resort now?
Well, you, right?
No way, no how. I told you this isn't a joke. My license was taken away from me, just like my mom's, and so there's no way I'm risking getting behind that wheel.
That's exactly right. But I think your mom forgot all about when that happened to you. Which is strange, because that didn't happen too long ago.
Now that you mention it, though, she was talking to her neighbors a couple of weeks ago when I was at her place, and she was telling them about how I'd be driving. I thought she just had things backwards and meant to say to them that you'd be driving, but...
Well, had she remembered that you can't drive right now, she probably would have had me drive us all the way there, and then told me to leave once you guys got checked in.
That is very true, sadly.
You are still over by the playground eating and taking a break on that bench, right? I'm going to come over there right now. Can you call the kids over so that the four of us can talk about what should we be doing now?
Sounds good. See you in a sec.
Bree, you come back here right now.
What do you want now?
I'm telling you to come back here right now, and I don't want any questions. And while you're on your way back here, you text your husband and tell him that it is not a problem for you to drive us the rest of the way.
I'm sorry, but that's not happening.
Why come? Just turn around and come back here and everything will be fine.
There was a bus leaving the rest stop that I hopped on, and it will be taking me all the way back home.
What? A bus?
It is technically illegal to be walking on the side of the interstate due to the high levels of danger that come with it. And so, buses are usually running on them for a long-distance trip like these. I don't want to be questioned by the police and have to pay a fine for walking out there, so I paid a little extra for the bus ticket.
I don't care about any of that, though. Right now, there is nobody here who can drive this car. I told Patrick that I forced you to go home, so he'd be the one having to drive us the rest of the way. And that's when he turned to me and said he cannot drive. I was totally thinking that he had a driver's license and would be able to take us all. I don't have my license either anymore, so you are the only one who can drive out of the three of us that can drive now. Don't worry, because Patrick and the kids are on this bus with me. What?
They came back to get all their things out of the car, and that's when you were able to talk with them again about me. But after that, he took the kids and went on one last bathroom break, right? Well, they actually used that chance to get on this bus with me before it took off.
Then all four of you come back here right now. I am telling you that you are allowed to come back here and drive us now, so there's no reason for you to still be riding that bus back home.
But the thing is, we are currently on the interstate and going 75 miles per hour.
Huh?
We have already gone about 15 miles now, so there's no way we can get off until the next stop, and that's maybe another 30 miles away?
You all hold it right there. What about the car? You know that I can't be the one to drive it.
I know that. And as a side note, I currently have the key to the car with me. Don't worry about a thing.
How am I not supposed to be worried about any of this?
The car can stay there as long as we need it to, so we'll be back for it soon. You just have to wait there another 30 minutes or so, and a bus will come take you to the rest of the way to that resort. So please enjoy your trip there with the rest of those guests on the bus.
Huh?
Also, if you have anything else you'd like to say, please talk with your son about it because I'm going to take a nap here. Goodbye now.
Hey, Patrick, what the hell is going on here?
So it appears that Uncle Ray and the crew have arrived to pick you up?
Huh? So you knew about what's all been going on here?
Well, I've heard quite a bit about it. And just to let you know this now, even though it's totally unrelated, I'm going overseas for a while to work.
What?
I'll be over there for 2 to 3 years, so I'll be bringing the kids and Bree along with me to find a house over there. And today is the day we move out of the house and fly out.
What did you just say? I never heard anything about all of this from you before.
The plan was to talk with you about all of this in the lobby of the resort once we had arrived there.
Huh? At the resort?
And the whole reason that Uncle Ray is there picking you up now is because the original plan was to have him come out to the resort to see us. But, Mom, you went and made reservations for only 4 people on purpose, with the intent of leaving Bree behind, right? You went and told Bree all about that when we had parked at the rest area, and said that she was not going to be able to stay with us. And then you told her to walk home all by herself because we'd be taking the car. You used the guise of a very fun family vacation to an all-inclusive resort to harass my wife by sending her away just before we made it to the resort. Did you think that I wouldn't be upset about something like that when I found out?
About that. Every year I try and ask for us to go to a place that I want to go to, but Bree always picks on me by saying that is not my choice and lets her kids decide.
Did you know that it's me who has been suggesting no to all your suggestions?
Huh?
I know that all you're going to do when you get to the trip you want is complain about how it'll be better without Bree, like you've always done when we go on trips. That's why I told her to leave the plans up to what the kids want to do, because they will choose to go to places that you can't keep up with us at, like amusement parks and hiking adventures.
How dare you do that to me?
And how dare you pick on my wife all the time like that?
I am not bullying her. I'm disciplining her.
If this was all taking place within the company, you would be sent to HR for harassing another employee by forcing them to have to walk 170 miles back home.
What?
Anyhow, we have a flight tonight out of this country.
You hold it right there. If you all leave, then what am I going to do? Your father is already long gone now, and without you and the grandkids, then I'll be all by myself.
And that's the exact reason why I asked Uncle Ray to come out and see you.
What?
We planned to leave you at that resort after telling you about us moving, and so I wanted him there to stay with you in our place. Now, if you have anything to complain about, you can talk with your brother about it.
Patrick!
With that, it's time to say goodbye.
Wait! Patrick! Uncle Ray, the man that my husband and I got help from, happens to be Holly's older brother. As for what happened at a rest stop when we left Holly in our car we made sure to tell Uncle Ray that the car is his now. So we gave him the spare keys to it before we even started driving out to the resort. So that car is in his hands now. After their stay at the resort, Holly and Uncle Ray both went back to his house where Holly would be staying from now on. And in an attempt to run away, Holly took the keys to our car from his house and started it up. She was able to get out onto the street, but as she approached the first stop sign, she mixed up the brake pedal and the gas pedal and accelerated right into the back of a truck. She only sustained minor injuries that wouldn't cause her much trouble, and she was sent back home from the hospital that same day. But since that car belonged to Uncle Ray now, he was not happy with her at all for destroying it and forced her to pay him for the car since it was completely totaled. This was her first year of getting Social Security too, so all of that went right into Uncle Ray's pocket. She now has to start working part-time in order to get any money to support herself, and she can say goodbye to having a laid-back and relaxing life in her old age. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Goodbye!
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.